Good morning, my name is Kevill Davis, and this is a supplement to the Davies Hypothesis, supplement number 3, and is about mindfulness. I've recently been reading the book by Sam Harris called Waking Up. Harris believes, as I do, that spirituality in man can be divorced from religion. And it's because of this I wanted to see what his ideas were on consciousness generally, and his ways of discovering what it's about in particular, how it affects our beliefs and our way of living. In his book, Harris describes how he tries to seek enlightenment through the contemplative practice of meditation, in particular the exercise known as mindfulness, which is intended to concentrate the mind on the here and now, the present, to the exclusion of all other factors, all other distracting thoughts. And by this means he hoped to get freedom from what the Buddhists call dukkha, suffering, or which Harris describes as unsatisfactoriness. He also admits that he's taken some drugs, again in the hope that he will discover some of the secrets of man's consciousness. In particular, he describes his hallucinations under the drug MDMA, I think it's called ecstasy, and how, having taken it, he had ideas of unbridled love. I'm just wondering whether some of the ideas in the Davies Hypothesis might come to support some of Harris's views. And I want to take you back in particular to the idea that the hypothesis follows on from the work of Heidegger and Thomas Aquinas, both of which believe that there were three aspects of time, which I've come to identify as three dimensions. I won't go through with how we derive this now, and you can see that by looking at previous episodes of the Davies Hypothesis on YouTube or by reading my book Spiritual Man. But let us just look at, for instance, the idea of hallucinatory drugs. We remember, if I can refer to my diagram here, the Trinitarian equation, where we postulate that perceived time is made up of real time, that's the here and now, unreal time, which we identify with the past, and imaginary time, which we identify with dreams, and is characterized by the coefficient I, which is the square root of -1. We also identify the imaginary time with those experiences people have in the early death syndrome, near-death syndrome, near-death experience, I beg your pardon, where they have all this ideas that they're approaching the Garden of Eden or Jesus or a tunnel with fantastic light, perhaps, meaning God. But how does this help us with hallucinatory drugs? Well, if you could imagine that having taken EM, it shuts down the plus T, the real time, and the unreal time, we will have left that the perceived time is only to do with the dream time, the imaginary time, which also allows us to understand abstract things like art and what have you. So we can see some sort of idea that the drug shutting down these parts of our senses is quite a possibility. And what about the usefulness of mindfulness, which concentrates on the here and now? Well, we can see that if we understand that by meditation we cut out all other ideas, as you do, then obviously we don't think about the past and we don't think about abstract ideas. So therefore we can say that we cut out the unreal time aspect and also the imaginary time aspect, and all we're left then is the here and now. So you can understand that by meditating and by practice meditating, you can avoid these aspects of time that are found in our brain and concentrate solely on the here and now. So, is Harris's work really just confirming what we've already said in the Davies Hypothesis, that consciousness is the aggregate or the total of the three aspects of time previously thought of by Heidegger and Thomas Aquinas, and which we have shown in the Davies Hypothesis to consist of the three aspects of time, which, because they act orthogonally, we identify as different dimensions. Thank you very much for listening.